Welcome to OSBlock training. Today we're going to be talking about the tools. First of all, I'd like to introduce myself. My name is Brent Sharp. I'll be your instructor on these videos, and we'll be going over a variety of things. We're first going to look at the tools, then we're going to look at the product, and then we're going to be going on site a little bit, and we're going to do a build and show each part of it. We're going to be looking at how it goes together. We're going to be looking at some of the things to overcome, some of the little things to look for when you go to build and put product onto the OSBlock as well, right to the finished turnkey part of the house. Okay, so let's get busy, and welcome to our training program. So right now, what I'm looking at here is I'm looking at just a variety of tools here that we have in order to build the OSBlock house. Our main primary cutting tool, because OSBlock comes in an 8-foot length, is the chainsaw. Now we have a variety of chainsaws. This one here, we've got an 18-inch bar on the chainsaw. One thing to keep in note when it comes to the chainsaw is making sure we have a file to make sure the chainsaw stays sharp, and we have a spare chain in case this one gets damaged, because one thing we have to watch for with the OSBlock is from time to time there's going to be a nail that could be in place, and we have to be aware of that. We also have our standard circular saw that we're going to use as using regular lumber on the job site for bracing, for all the other structure. We've got a screw gun, because the screw gun is required because the OSBlock is screwed together as far as the clips on the corners, which we'll see. We have our 2-foot, we have a 4-foot level, and on site sometimes we'll have a 6-foot level, because we want to make sure that our openings are plumb, we're making sure everything's level. We have our typical handsaw as a backup just in case, and of course primarily we have our personal protective equipment, we have our hearing protection, we have eye protection, we have our footwear. Sometimes we may require to have gloves. It all depends on what we're doing. But ensuring that our safety is the important thing on any job site. Now, whether you're working in a commercial aspect or working with a residential aspect, where you're building your own home, or you're building for somebody else and working for a company, most companies have a safety program. So ensuring that all safety regulations are in place when you do your build. As well, we have our layout tools. We have our layout tools, which is our speed square. We have our framing square here. We also have, of course, our chalk line, our tape measures. We have our standard hammer. We have a variety of pencils, but we also have a felt marker, because the felt marker will mark a lot easier on the installation on the OSBlock. It's not going to affect anything. It's just a great tool to have as an extra, as a backup. Of course, we have our standard apron to keep our tools in, so we're not always looking for stuff, if at all possible. We have our foam gun, because a lot of the OSBlock is glued in place. We are using a variety of adhesives, and usually most of our adhesives that we're using are foam based. We can also look at our tool that comes with OSBlock. This is our tool that we have here. It's in like an Allen key, and this is what locks the OSBlock together in its tongue and groove. I think that is about it regarding the tools. You know, we can have more tools on the job site. Well, one other thing that we can consider, if we're doing a lot of OSBlock and we're doing more than one house and we get into it, we can go from the chainsaw to an actually adapted. We can take a circular saw and buy a modification for it that has a chainsaw blade attached to it. It'll give you more of a 90-degree cut, and it's a little more accurate. Or you can even go to a different measure where you can actually get a table that the OSBlock sits in that has a sliding table with a chainsaw type cutting tool attached to it. Okay? So remember, when we are working, first thing, safety. 2 things, having the right tool for the right job. And it's a very simple setup. Not a whole lot is required. That's what makes OSBlock leading in the industry of new innovation. We are looking forward to this build. We're looking forward to working with you. If you have any questions, by all means reach out. somebody from the OSBlock or representative will be able to answer any of your questions. So we'll get on with the next part of it, which will be the product. Welcome back. Today we're going to be just talking about the product prior to getting into how this all goes together. We're going to first look at the OSBlock itself. The OSBlock comes with a variety of different components. When you get your package for your house, this is what you're going to see. You've got your OSBlock here, which comes in 8-foot lengths. You've got your corners, and here's your corners here. They're 8-foot lengths. You have your base plate, as you can see, and you have your top plate. We have an OSBlock labeled building wrap, but you can use pretty much any building wrap. It also comes with these clips. These clips here, as you can see, these clips are the ones that lock the OSBlock into place. You also are given the Allen key to lock them into place, and I'll be showing you how it goes together. We use also, we buy products. There's 2 different products here that we buy, not necessarily these products, but we have one here. It's a construction adhesive in a foam. Then we have an infill foam. Now, the 2 brands that I have here are just what we're using today, but various companies have different brands. One thing to keep in mind, the construction adhesive that we use, be careful because it has a temperature rating that if you're working with OSBlock when it's cold out, be aware of that, because some will work, some won't, based on certain temperatures. So make sure you look at the manufacturer specifications on your construction adhesive foam and your infill foam to make sure that you're complying with the environment that you're working in. It depends on what part of the country you're in, okay? So, first of all, we're going to look at the OSBlock itself. I've got a cutaway piece here that I'm going to show. This here is a cutaway view of the OSBlock. So as you can see, with the OSBlock here, we have our outer side and we have our inner side. Our outer side here has got a nailing flange here for any of your exterior finishes, whether it be vertical or horizontal. We can attach our wind barrier to this, and we've got a nailing flange here to either put on vertical siding of some kind, your stucco wire, or if you're going with horizontal siding, you strap this with 1x material vertically. We have a solid core interior when it comes to the OSBlock, and we have our interior nailing flange. So because of the nature of the OSBlock, it has its own vapor barrier. So we have a nailing flange that we can nail our screw, our drywall right to, or our interior finish. Also, as you can see, this chase here is for the electrical to run through, built in within this product. It has a tongue or groove feature here, and as you can see, the grooves here, it's got a locking mechanism that we use to lock in. So if you look here on the underside, this is what the clips look like when they're put in. We position them inside, and then we have our access hole to lock them into place. So I'm going to demonstrate that by putting this unit down here on this piece, and when I lock it in place, I find the locking, and then I will turn it 90 degrees. Okay? Now, as you can see, it's locked in. And as you can see, they self-line. So we're going to be getting into the setup of this later on. I'm just showing you how this product actually works and some of the components of it. Now attached to this is also, we have a base plate. The base plate sits on the floor system, and again, we're going to show you on site how this is installed. The biggest thing we have to contend with is the offset of the base plate to accommodate the OSBlock, and we foam the underside down to glue it, to screw it. We have to make sure that we have no less than a 1/8 variance in the floor for being level, so that, because that will affect the OSBlock itself. We also have, from that, we put our corner in. This is our corner. As you can see, if you look at this, it's got tabs, and that's to fasten the OSBlock in place. These are 8 feet in length, and also we can extend these. So OSBlock actually has created an extension that can either be 1 foot or 2 feet to extend your roof, because sometimes your wall's height, some clients would require them to be a 9-foot ceiling or a 10-foot ceiling. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to show you this OSBlock here has got a piece of wood here that's put in. So to accommodate, I'm just going to grab a hammer here. So when I pull this out, I can slide that piece out, and we can accommodate, using the same screws, we can accommodate and extend this corner like so. And then we re-screw it back in, so it's ready to go. OSBlock comes in a 12-inch height. So my OSBlock total height is 12 inches. The tongue and groove to it to lock it into place. It's got an R32 value as far as insulation, with the thermal break built within, and with us gluing this, and you'll see this when we assemble, is it creates your wind barrier already, so it actually seals itself. So now we've shown you all the product. Now the next step is to get on site with OSBlock, and we can start looking at how this all goes together. Just remember, with OSBlock, we're building a better future with today's technology.